Hello, Pelican Heads! Greetings from California. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah. Well, here we are, Sun Outdoors Paso Robles. It is a fabulous campsite. That's one of the reasons why I'm not gonna be able to fly the drone here. I mean, I could ask for permission, but I don't feel like it. It is a beautiful area, so it would have been good. Let's go into town. We're going to Tent City here, which seems to be like an entertainment district in an industrial area with shops, restaurants, breweries, and in Paso, most importantly, wineries. Let's see if we can find parking. We're going to begin at this winery called Union Sacre. Not your typical Paso Robles winery, they specialize in white wines. But the problem with all the wineries is that they all close early, generally at 5 p.m. So we may not be able to see many of them. We're gonna go to downtown for dinner. Downtown, by the way, super lively and super cute, especially this area around the city park. We are starving, and there are so many choices around here. Check it out! It almost looks like my old Kia. We ended up at this place called Catch Seafood Grill.
The place where we ate, which is Catch Seafood Grill, outstanding. Whew, I'm so stuffed. Let's get back to Sun Outdoors Paso Robles. And they have live music, I'm reliably informed.
The music, unfortunately, ended shortly after we arrived, so I guess we got here too late. That was a very light day as far as activities go, but to be honest, we spent most of the day at the campground. We're going to call it a night, and tomorrow we continue exploring. We're going to Pismo. So, it turns out, a couple, viewers from this area, Travis and Elaine, they invited us to lunch at Pismo Beach, and the timing is going to work out perfectly. So that's where we're going. I've been looking forward to seeing the Pacific Ocean once again. It's been far too long. It's going to be a little over an hour drive, but the scenery is beautiful, so I don't really mind. We must be getting close to the ocean because I see that marine layer. And it is kind of strange for someone not from here to get used to this drastic change in climate once we get close to the coast. It gets cloudy and even a little chilly. It does look like it may be starting to burn off as the morning sun begins to warm up the atmosphere. There's a famous hotel here on the right called Madonna Inn. And ooh, Los Osos. I've heard of that place. There it is, the Pacific Ocean. We've made it all the way to the other side of the continent, and that makes me happy. We're early, so we're going to drive around town a little bit to see what it is like. We've never actually been here before. I mean, we passed by here with the California Cruiser back in 2012, but we didn't stop. There, on the coast. I think that's where we're going. Very busy downtown area here. Splash Cafe, we've heard of that place. It is supposed to have some of the best New England clam chowder to be had around here. Maybe we'll come back tomorrow. Finding parking here is going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible. It is naturally Sunday, so it is going to be busy. Just south of here we also have the Oceano sand dunes, where I believe you can drive and even camp on the beach. Here we are. It is called Ventana Grill. I think the views are going to be fabulous.
Fly, pelicans!
I think this is the perfect place to invite us for lunch. There are pelicans everywhere. Look at that pelican with a stick in his mouth. Are California pelicans herbivore, perhaps? Maybe pescatarian, huh?
What a beautiful place this is, wouldn't you agree? We have seagulls, we have pelicans. We just had a great lunch here at, I didn't film much, at Ventana Grill with Travis and Elaine here in Pismo Beach. And look at them pelicans. They're like kissing each other. This is amazing. And then on that other side, you get to see Pismo Beach. California is beautiful.
They are not afraid. The pelicans, however, tend to be a little more cautious.
Hello, Mr. Pelican. Fly! Hello there. You have a pretty nice view. And there will be the Pismo Beach Pier.
Well, what do you know? Starship made it to the Pacific within roughly a month, you know? So, coast to coast within a month. It's beautiful out here. Beautiful out here. Look at that. Just a couple of miles to the northwest, we have Avila Beach here. All the beach towns on the Pacific coast are so picturesque. it is hard to pick one over the next. Let's see if we can get a nice view from up here. Let's go towards the very end of the bay, the farthest point we can drive to. There's no practical coastal route after that, so we're gonna have to take the inland route towards the next destination, which is Morro Bay. I see a lot of RVs parked here. I wonder if this is day use only, or if you could potentially stay overnight, maybe if you're fishing or something. More research shall go into this. It is certainly a beautiful setting, so it would be super cool if you could, even if they charge you a little for it. Nothing more relaxing than falling asleep to the sounds of the ocean, and the Pacific in particular can be a loud one. This is called Port St. Louis, and I believe this is as far as we can go. The port was originally used mostly for oil exports, but today it is pretty much all recreational, and for research as well. There are signs all over the place that say no overnight camping, and there is an RV resort on the hill. And this on the right certainly looks like camping, so it seems to be permitted, just not on the street. There, that confirms it. It is kind of a bummer because if they were to control it, keep it clean, charge for it maybe, it would be like another Rincon Parkway with even better views. Avila Beach, very nice. We must return someday. And we're back on the 101. Let me show you on a map. We came from Paso Robles to Pismo, then Avila Beach, and now we're going to Morro Bay on the 101. And then the one, which could be considered a shortcut if it wasn't the only way. So, this is the way. It is a beautiful way. We're going to turn back onto Highway 1 here in San Luis Obispo. There it is, the unmistakable rock called Morro, Spanish for rounded hill. We were here back in 2012, ever so briefly, and I don't want to get your hopes up, but we're not gonna spend any significant time today either. This is one of those places I am saving for when we can travel at more leisure. Giovanni's there. If I recall, they have a really good clam chowder in a sourdough bowl. Morro Bay, very picturesque. Besides tourism, they also have a thriving fishing industry. It is an all-weather, very protected harbor. And we have sea lions, rather common on the Pacific coast.
Well, here we are, Morro Bay, California. This is the second time we're here. Actually, we came back here several years ago. Yeah, I remember that anchor. We came here several years ago when we did that road trip from Los Angeles to San Francisco, 2011, I want to say. And yeah, now we're back. And we may be back with the trailer in tow in a couple of days. because man, I wish I had two stomachs and be able to eat something here. We ate something at that Giovanni's, if memory serves. And now here we are once again. It's a beautiful day on the beautiful California Pacific coast.
Let's do something we didn't do the last time we were here, and that is go to the other side of the bay, closer to the rock. The natural gas power plant was shuttered in 2014, and they are planning to demolish the smokestacks at some point. Oh, Maritime Museum. Submarines are cool. Morro Rock was originally an island actually, so this causeway we're driving on is all artificial, making this also an artificial port. The rock is a peregrine falcon preserve, so you're not allowed to climb it. Now, wouldn't it be cool to see some falcons? Let's see the view from this side. To be honest, the power plant is a little bit of an eyesore in an otherwise very picturesque harbor, so I will not be upset when they tear down the smokestacks. There's a very nice beach on the north side. It wouldn't be California if we didn't have some surfers. I guess the Pacific is just perfect for that. Let's continue. Let's go a little farther north. We definitely have to make plans to return here someday. And we're back on the one. We have one more stop along the coast, at a town called Cayucos. We're gonna stop here really quick for the scenic view. Yep, that's the scenic view. That's a great view of Morro Rock. It is another one of those super picturesque California beach towns. Alright, it is our lucky day. Fly, pelicans! Here we have an old Ford and another great view of the Pacific Ocean and Morro Bay in the distance. And with that view, we're gonna say see you soon, Pacific Ocean. We'll be back in a couple of days. Let's go back to Paso because there is one more thing we want to do tonight. Cayucos as it's been the norm in this area. Very good looking town. I love these palm trees, although they remind me a little of the Salton Sea area. There's a lake here on the left, so let's check it out. This would be the Whale Rock Reservoir. I think we are arriving in wine country, but I don't think we're gonna be able to visit any of the wineries because they all close so early. We're going to do one more thing, as I said, and that is visit this art installation called Sensorio. And there is live music. Very nice. As soon as it gets dark, all this is going to become a field of light. As many others around the world, was created by British artist Bruce Monroe. And wait till you see it. It is magical. Well, the location helps too, especially with this magical sunset. And these are the light towers, and they are starting to light up. They are made out of bottles. They have some food trucks, and I think the night calls for a glass of wine. I just noticed we have a new moon. And they're all starting to light up, slowly, almost imperceptibly. I want to apologize in advance for the low quality in this low light setting. I didn't feel like carrying all the cameras here, so all I brought was an iPhone. Still, looks pretty good for a phone. Okay, the light towers, this way. Well, that was a magical evening.
Well, hello everybody and greetings from sunny California. Actually, we're gonna take the golf cart because it is a pretty steep hill going up to the welcome center.
Today it is going to be mostly a fun day at the RV resort. But first,
it is time for an RV cooking show, and I've been boiling some chicken breasts, and now I'm gonna do the sofrito, and this is like a shredded chicken Cuban style. You'll see, it's gonna be good.
we're going to start by chopping an onion, as we usually do. Same with the green pepper. A little bit of olive oil, and we're going to sauté, starting with the onions. Salt to taste, and black pepper. Next, we're gonna crush, peel, and mince some garlic. Dry cooking wine and tomato sauce. Oregano, cumin, paprika, you know, the usual stuff. That chicken breast is so tender. We're just gonna shred it a little bit like pulled chicken. Some smoke point salsa from Texas. I mean, this stuff is delicious. Gonna make some basmati rice as well, and that's it.
Oh well, I forgot to show you the first plate, but this is the second plate. And it actually came out really good.
Let's go into town to Firestone Walker Brewing Company. I don't know exactly what the deal is with all the cans on the conveyor, but it looks cool. We're having a pizza and some croquettes. You know we had to try the croquettes, right?
Well, this was actually really good. I was pleasantly surprised now. This is it for today. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. And we're back at Pismo Beach, and everybody has recommended Splash Cafe here for the clam chowder. And today there's hardly any lines, so we're gonna do that.
We usually prefer to come to these places at non-peak times, so we don't have to wait in line and all that. Of course, this place is famous for its clam chowder, but I'm also gonna order a lobster roll because I love lobster.
Lobster roll and bread bowl with a street view. Cheers. Well, yeah, that was a good clam chowder. The lobster roll was alright. It wasn't bad by any means, but it was only okay. But the clam chowder and the bread bowl was spectacular. And we got the best seat in the house too.
Ooh, fly pelicans! it's always better when you have a street musician. Let's go for a stroll along the pier. The visitor center is an airstream. How cool is that? Look at that rugged coastline. I think we need bigger waves. There it is, Ventana Grill, where we had lunch a couple of days ago. Check out the Oceano dunes. There's a bunch of vehicles parked on the sand, and we're going there next.
Oh, here's the famous Pismo Beach sign, and I think the occasion calls for a selfie. Wouldn't you agree? And they have a whale.
We're going to the Oceano dunes. There's no one at the booth, so we're just gonna do a quick in and out, just for fun. By the way, camping here is $10 a night, which is not bad. We really gotta do that sometime. I've always had this thing about driving on the beach. Now, camping here, right next to the Pacific, is being added to the bucket list as we speak. I see a lot of campers, so I guess this back here is the camping area. We definitely have to make plans for 2024. That, we're saying goodbye to this area, but not to the Pacific Ocean. On the road again, and this was not entirely on the plan, but I think we're gonna do the Pacific Coast Highway all the way to Oregon. We're going to take State Route 46 towards Cambria, and there we're going to join the 1. leaving wine country, and we only got to go to one winery, but hey, the show must go on. There it is, the ocean. The Pacific Coast Highway wasn't originally our first choice this time around. We do have a reservation in Coos Bay, Oregon, so we have to be there in about 5 days for the third and last of our 3 sponsored stays with Sun Outdoors. But I wanted to take a different route. The original plan was to take I-5 through the San Joaquin Valley, Sacramento, Mount Shasta, and then work our way to the coast. I mean, we've never taken that route. Another plan was to take the 395, the Eastern Sierra Scenic Byway up to Lake Tahoe, but it was more of a detour, so we decided to do the Pacific Coast Highway. Kind of last minute, commemorating the 10th anniversary of our 2012 trip, and I'm glad we made that decision. When we came in 2012, we were able to stop at many places along the way. Now, the one disadvantage of doing this kind of trip with a travel trailer is that you're not gonna fit everywhere. Some of the parking lots along this route are tight, and there's one state park we're not gonna be able to see at all. We also wanted to park here in Cambria, see the town, and that is also not gonna happen. Well, it is official. Minitini 3 has now been to the Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, and now the Pacific. The only North American body of salt water missing is the Arctic, but I think we're going to save that one for Minitini 4. Let's take a break.
I think they're cracking down on all these spots where people used to be able to boondock, like a quick overnight, and I don't know how much they are enforcing it. We really do not have anywhere to stay today, so at some point we might either have to risk it and stay at one of these places or look for a last minute. I don't know what we're gonna do, but here we are. It's a pretty nice stop. It's compared to the views we're about to experience farther north. This is, not that great, but it is great. Look at that. But I just wanted to show you Minitini 3 for the first time in the Pacific Ocean. We made it. It made it to the Pacific. Starship made it to the Pacific a couple of days ago at Pismo Beach, but. Man, this is beautiful, and the weather is perfect for boondocking. It's probably, the thermometer said 70, but it feels like 60s, and it's kind of windy, so it's perfect for boondocking here. All right, let's continue on the way north. It's gonna be soup with a view.
I'm going to stop for a moment here because this is one of the spots from where you can get a view of Hearst's Castle. One of these days we're gonna visit it, but I hear you have to commit like half a day to it. So yeah, as I say, next time. Even though this may not be the prettiest part, it is still stunning. It is very windy, so there's a lot of salt in the air, which is getting stuck on the front camera lens. That's why we're getting a somewhat diffused image. I'll try to compensate. Let's take another break. We can still see Hearst's Castle from here, and more views of the ocean. A lone pelican. And that would be the Piedras Blancas Light Station. here's our next point of interest, the Elephant Seal Vista Point. This is one of those obligatory stops along the Pacific Coast Highway. Look at them all, sunbathing at the beach. It is so windy today. Actually, the pelicans are almost putting on a better show than the elephant seals, which are kind of chill today.
Always fun to stop and see the elephant seals, doing their thing. I could stay here for hours, but unfortunately our time is kind of limited today. So we've got to continue north.
There's a trail that goes all the way to the lighthouse, but there's no oversized parking or time for that matter, so another time perhaps. Now it's getting interesting. There's a restaurant with a view, probably, but we couldn't have stopped with the trailer anyway. Yep, it is quite the roller coaster ride. This extremely picturesque area is called Big Sur. I remember that rock from our 2012 trip. So let's stop for a few minutes. I kind of wish I could stop at every pullout, but a lot of them are too small for us, or we're too big for them, and on the wrong side of the road. At some point, we should do this the other way, southbound. Now crossing Limekiln Creek and Limekiln State Park. It seems very nice. I can see Big Creek Bridge in the distance. Big Creek Bridge, not as famous or iconic as Bixby Creek Bridge coming later, but it is still a good photo opportunity. In fact, let me see if I can stop at the Vista Point. Not an easy task with the trailer in tow. Well, there it is. Oh, here's an even better view. Another quick stop as we're getting close to Macquay Falls.
Macquay Falls is somewhere down there. We just have to find it.
Meanwhile, that's not a bad view. Not bad at all. This is the entrance to Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park, from where you can hike to the falls, but trailers and RVs are not permitted, and it looks like the parking area for the viewpoint is closed. Tell you what, we've come way too far not to see the falls, so I'm gonna park right here. It's gotta be somewhere down there. There it is.
Well, there it is, Macquay Falls. This was almost bucket list, let me tell you, because the last time I was here, back in 2011 or 2012, I can't recall exactly. I didn't know exactly about Macquay Falls, and I took a lot of pictures with Macquay rocks, which we're gonna see now. But yeah, it's a waterfall that goes straight into the ocean, which is very rare. This is all part of Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park. But they don't allow, they have a big sign, no RVs, no trailers of any kind. Whew. So I just parked in one of the pullouts and walked to this. This is the official pullout to see Macquay Falls. I don't know why they have it cordoned off so you cannot do it. So maybe a lot of people were congregating here. In fact, I had to wait for some folks to take some pictures there. And this is the other amazing view. Look at this. Actually, we're gonna zoom in on those rocks now, but this is the California, the Pacific coast at its best. Now we continue down the road.
Here's the Macquay Rocks Vista Point, but I don't think there's any room for us. Luckily, I was able to film it in 2012. This is the town called Big Sur. Somewhere on that rock is the Point Sur Lighthouse. We keep going and going. Another beautiful vista past every curve. And this is pretty remote, more than you would guess, it being California, the most populous state. Coming up, what is arguably the most famous bridge of all this section of the road. It's being featured in postcards, movies, and even Grand Theft Auto 5. It is none other than Bixby Creek Bridge. Let's see if we can stop.
Local resident. Hello there. They've got a view here.
It is said to be one of the most photographed bridges in California. When we did this trip in 2012, a lot of people scolded me for not stopping at Santa Cruz. There was just not enough time, and I decided to visit the Monterey Bay Aquarium instead, because, of course, the Sausalito Cetacean Institute. So today, we're gonna skip Monterey and we're going to visit Santa Cruz instead. Now arriving in Monterey, which was California's capital during the Spanish and Mexican rule. We're just gonna stay at the KOA, very expensive for just an overnight, but hear me out, it was the quickest and easiest to book, last minute, even though the idea was to boondock somewhere actually, but we really want to unhitch and see a little bit of Santa Cruz with the little time we have left. We don't have very ambitious plans, we're just gonna get something to eat and see the highlights, mainly the area around the wharf and the boardwalk. We definitely ought to spend more time here in the future. The boardwalk seems to be mainly a daytime thing, so I don't think it is going to be very lively at this time of the day, so we're going to do the wharf. It is one of those somewhat complex roundabouts. Whatever happened to four-way stops? $1 per 20 minutes. That's actually not that bad considering where we are. That's the boardwalk, dating back to 1907. It is California's oldest surviving amusement park. Ooh, street musician. Cool. There are plenty of places to eat, so let's see if we can find something that piques our interest, and parking for that matter. Oh, there's plenty of parking back here. It is Wednesday, so it is not very busy. Might as well go all the way to the end. These types of boardwalks are much more common on the East Coast. It kind of reminds me of the Jersey Shore somehow. So many sailboats here on Monterey Bay. We're going to eat at the Dolphin. It's gotta be the touristy place, but it's got pretty good reviews. And even better views. That pigeon is going to have a feast on that sourdough. Here comes another one.
Oh yeah, we gotta replace that one.
She went straight for it.
Straight for the clam chowder.
Now there's 3 of them.
Taking out. Grooving. 3 minutes, man.
So we ordered some cava to start. We're in a celebratory mood.
We got the clam chowder because that's what you do. There's a fish somewhere down there.
It looks like it is going to be a beautiful sunset. And look what we have down there. These sea lions are everywhere on the west coast. There's the lighthouse, also the Santa Cruz Surfing Museum. It is so peaceful, yet so much going on here on the bay.
Yep.
Who's making all that noise, I wonder? Let me tell you, that must be the good life. Just chilling, enjoying the cool ocean breeze. There's the boardwalk once again. So let's drive around the area with the little daylight we have left. I just wish we had more time to explore. We did some research and that area came up. It is called Cliff Drive. There's a walking and biking trail along the coast that, if it was earlier, we would definitely do. I think today we're just gonna drive it. Oh yeah, I can see how this would be a nice walk. And we can see the wharf over there. Here we have a surfing monument. Okay, I gotta do it. Let's park for a couple of minutes.
And away we go. What was going to be 5 days of boondocking has turned out to be, at least for now, 3 days of luxury RVing, but things have to be done. You know, I do need to do an oil change on Starship here. It's first oil change, so I want to go like a proper Chevy dealer. And the one in Cruz Bay doesn't have any appointments until like in 3 weeks. So the one in Petaluma has an appointment tomorrow. So that's where we're going.
Yeah, sometimes you have to adapt. Flexibility, like joy, is the key. Sometimes you have to splurge in order to get things done. Santa Cruz wasn't really on the radar, not until now, but now it is. So maybe now we can plan a trip to the whole Monterey Bay area. You know, Monterey, Carmel by the Sea, Santa Cruz. Maybe I'll read some Steinbeck before then to get a better sense of the area. So many places, so little time. Anyway, we're going to Petaluma, California, the egg capital of the world, near the Napa Valley wine region. It is not too far, about a 3-hour drive hugging the coast. First time I heard of the place was by listening to This Week in Tech podcast back in the mid-2000s, as this was where the podcast was produced, and the host, Leo Laporte, often spoke about the town. It is also home to Lagunitas Brewing Company, one of the first IPAs I ever tried. We're once again getting close to the ocean. While not as stunning as the Big Sur area, this is not bad. Now, would that be the Pigeon Point Light Station? I think it is. And I like lighthouses. That marine layer is getting closer and closer to shore. I'm afraid in a few moments we're going to be engulfed in it. And we are. That spot right there on the left, I wanted to stop there. Let me see if I can make a U-turn.
Alright, this is a spot I had marked here on my map, and this seems to be the very spot where Nomadic Fanatic boondocked a couple of years ago. I don't know if it is still allowed, but it's a beautiful spot. I do believe there's a sign over there that probably says no camping. There's a European RV there, a European Class C, very similar to the one we rented. Right. It's a Sunlight, same brand, but ours didn't have the cab over, and just getting over can't get over how beautiful this is. I mean, the marine layer is rolling in, so it's not sunny and blue anymore, but it is quite amazing. It's sunlight, just like the one we rented in Finland. And as I said, ours was more like a B+. This one is a proper Class C. But well, all the sign says is unstable cliffs, stay back. Of course, not everybody heeds the warning, but there it is. There are no signs saying no overnight camping here, so I'm assuming you could. Whatever. All right, let's keep going towards Half Moon Bay and San Francisco, but now we know that this may be a potential spot, and it's pretty wide, especially over there. So as long as they don't put up a sign, this is still a valid boondocking spot, I would think.
Let me know what you think. And the fog is burning off, but my lens, not so much. We're gonna have to do a little bit of city driving here, as we're about to cross the city by the bay, San Francisco. Actually, crossing is a big word. We're going to skirt it on the west. We wouldn't want to tackle those steep streets San Francisco is so famous for with a trailer in tow. Although, come think of it, if we were to do Lombard Street with a trailer behind us, it could go viral, but it could go very wrong too. There is something unique about this city. Something about the architecture, the hills, its unique geographical location. It's got an unmistakable character. Now driving across Golden Gate Park, over 1,000 acres in size. If it wasn't for the dense fog, we could probably see the red towers of Golden Gate Bridge already. There it is, one of the most iconic bridges in the United States and perhaps the most photographed in the world. At the time of its opening in 1937, it was both the longest and tallest suspension bridge in the world. From the bridge, of course, you get commanding views of San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz Island, downtown San Francisco, and beyond. On the other side, the Pacific. And that's all we're going to see of San Francisco today. We'll be back, I promise.
Oh yeah, we arrived here a couple hours ago actually at the Petaluma KOA. It's a holiday weekend, so this place is gonna be packed by tomorrow. It's Thursday today. But you know what's in Petaluma? Lagunitas Brewing Company and Twit. So let's go there. Well, guess where we are? This is Twit, This Week in Tech. And if you don't know, Leo Laporte, he was one of the first to do this online podcasting and video thing. So it's like a pilgrimage, you know, coming to Petaluma and stopping here. Now let's go to the other pilgrimage.
Lagunitas, of course, was one of the first IPAs I ever tried. If memory serves, I believe it was probably John C. Dvorak who recommended it in the aforementioned tweet This Week in Tech show many years ago. It is still one of my favorites. And that's a Winnebago. Well, cheers. We've got quesadillas and tacos.
Well, that's it. We did our trip to Lagunitas IPA. Got a 6-pack for tomorrow for the live stream. Because today's Thursday, right? Yes, it is. And now we're just gonna go back and rest. Oh, look at the color on those mountains back there.
Greetings once again from downtown Petaluma.
Brick house.
Summer gin and tonic. And the hen house IPA.
I will know.
Brisket and poutine. Serendipity brought us to this place called Brewster's, which was great, actually. Great live music, great service, great brisket, actually. Probably the best brisket we've had since Texas. So, yeah, Petaluma, California.
Petaluma, I must say, pretty cool town. Well, stopped by the supermarket to get some essentials, mainly wine and water. And we're in the middle of a heat wave here in California. It's 83 degrees in Petaluma, which by their standards, this is a heat wave. It's not so bad. But my only hope is that by the coast it's going to be a couple of degrees cooler, because now we're going to be boondocking for 2 days in a row. Anyway, I'm gonna try to first stop here, Bodega Bay. And I was here in 2019? Yes. But Ili has never been there, so this is an exciting part of the trip. Someone recommended we stop by Dillon Beach before going to Bodega Bay, so that's what we're going to do. Here at Tamales, we divert from the one, taking Dillon Beach Road. So far, it's been a beautiful drive with these ocean views, and that's gotta be Tamales Point in the distance. Oh no, what is this? This is probably going to take hours, and I don't even know if there's oversized parking, so let's see if we can turn around. Alright, let's not do that again. Sometimes I want to do things like normal and I forget I have 23 feet of trailer behind me. And we're back on the one. We are now arriving in Bodega Bay, best known in pop culture for being the filming location of Alfred Hitchcock's 1963 movie, The Birds. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Very busy little town, especially today on a Saturday, so stopping anywhere with the trailer in tow is going to be out of the question. They do have several campgrounds, so we must do that at some point, but not today. We have a reservation in 2 days at Coos Bay in Oregon, so we gotta keep moving. So picturesque, so many places to eat al fresco. We definitely have to return without the trailer. And we have reached, once again, the Pacific Ocean. And we're getting perfect weather. Let's park here at the arched rock overlook for a few minutes. Love to hear the roaring sounds of the Pacific Ocean. Such a rugged coastline. It is pretty windy too. And no overnight parking allowed here either.
With the arched rock.
It is the weekend, and we're still pretty close to the Bay Area, so every parking lot is overrun with people. So our chances to stop here or there are going to be very limited, at least at the nicer spots. One thing for sure, some of these homes have tremendous views. We're now arriving at a small town called Jenner. There was a restaurant here we were looking into, but none of these towns on the coast seem to be very RV friendly, much less on a busy weekend. And I forgot to mention, it is not just any weekend, it is a Labor Day weekend. We might be able to stop here and have a quick lunch.
And this is where we're gonna take a quick break for lunch. As you saw, we tried to stop at some of the restaurants along the route, but everything is so busy. You know, it's Labor Day weekend, so that's what it is. But this is such an idyllic place, such a beautiful setting. I mean, we're gonna have room to pull out the slide, and that's gonna be our room with a view. I'm probably just gonna do some TV dinners or something simple, and then continue north, and maybe we'll find the boondocking spot somewhere along this coast. It's amazing.
Look at the pelican fly. Look at all the pelicans. Besides the pelicans, we also have sea lions. Such a beautiful place. And there is a very nice, protected little beach here at the mouth of the Russian River.
Oh yes, it is going to be lunch with a view, for sure.
In goes the slide. Seeing all these views makes me wish I had more time and less RV to be able to explore every nook and cranny. We're about to start going up in elevation, and the views are going to be amazing. Let's make a quick stop here to see the view. Oh yeah. That is magnificent. Oh, nice house. I think this might be the windiest part of the whole Pacific Coast Highway. What a uniquely beautiful drive this is. Look at all these beautiful coves and secluded beaches. It would be so great to be able to explore some of them. All right, coffee break.
Yep, making coffee on the side of the road. Not much of a view, but hey.
Actually, there's a little bit of a view, just not right in front of our window. Our friend Steven had told us that he had been able to boondock by Point Arena Lighthouse. There seems to be some public land in the area, so we're gonna try and do the same. The last time I explored these parts, I discovered this coastal access point that would be perfect for a quick overnight. Except for the fact that there's a sign at the turnaround that says no overnight parking. Onward we go. Arriving at Point Arena, I remember this town. I stayed at the Garcia River Casino back in 2019. It is a pretty good looking town. Oh no, now I've got something on my lens. I apologize about that. This may be it, although there are no overnight signs. Let's find out. Apparently there is no boondocking here, but the lady at the booth recommended Manchester State Park, so that's where we're going.
I think this is gonna be it. Manchester State Park, Point Arena. Apparently, they don't allow overnight parking anymore. So this seems nice, and amazingly enough, there's plenty of room. So yeah, site 14 is gonna be it. We don't feel like driving around anymore. So we're just gonna pay. So this is it. You pay $35 to camp. You grab one of these envelopes. You put the money in. You detach this. Deposit the money in there, and now you display this in the car, and that should be it. Here we are, and there's Point Arena. Check it out. Strange California trees.
Let's go to the day use area to see if we can see the ocean. It should be less than a mile, and there's once again the Point Arena Lighthouse.
Here we are.
That's the unmistakable roar of the Pacific. Wow, listen to that.
yeah, it's at this black sand beach. You know, I'm very tempted to taste the water. Ili says no, but you know, I've done it before. She says no. Okay, I won't taste the water this time around. But yeah, the tide is rising. I don't think we're gonna be able to come for the sunset. It's kind of far from the campground, so I don't want to go back like when it is dark. I'll see if we can catch the sunset from the campground. And over there, as you can see, is the lighthouse. So I think we're gonna start heading back and get some to eat. Right, today is gonna be ramen noodles for dinner and sparkling wine. There's the sunset happening soon. I wish it was happening over there, but it is what it is. Look at that fog rolling in. We're gonna be engulfed here in a few minutes. In fact, a few minutes ago you could see Point Arena. Not anymore. That is time to go.
Can't seem to be able to keep my lens clean here. There is just too much salt in the air. I take back what I said earlier. I believe this is the windiest part of the road. Love all these coves, so many with secluded and sometimes not so secluded beaches, like this one. That would be a great place to camp if it wasn't so crowded. We're gonna start looking for a place large enough where we can park and have a quick brunch. And I believe there is such a parking lot right before the one goes inland. It is called Westport Beach. There's an actual campground here, but there is also a day use area. This is it.
And this is where we break for breakfast.
That's the point, where the road goes inland, into the redwoods. And here's our now familiar no overnight sign. I guess in the future we can plan to camp at one of the campgrounds along the coast. But right now we're hungry.
This is what I call cooking with a view. Cheers.
There are many areas where you can see redwoods, but today we're just going to do a scenic byway called Avenue of the Giants. It goes through Humboldt Redwoods State Park. And with that, we're saying goodbye to the Pacific for a few hours. We're going to start going up in elevation. We're getting close. Here's a park where you can actually drive through a tree, but we're not gonna do that. This is also the end, the northern terminus of California Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway. Here's where we're gonna take US 101 North. Certain sections are very nice 4-lane roads, and some are narrow and windy. Let's refuel.
World famous one log house.
Even though we're not quite at the Avenue of the Giants yet, here we start seeing some rather large redwoods. These trees are often confused with sequoias, but there are actually a totally different species that only thrives in the humid environment of northern coastal California. From the first time I visited this area, I was surprised about how touristy and developed it is, considering how remote we are. Here's a pullout with some information. Well, actually, it is a map of the park. And here we join the Avenue of the Giants. We're not gonna be able to park at some of the trailheads that are just not RV friendly, but we can park on the side of the road and admire the sheer size of these giant redwoods.
Well, we stopped here for a quick bathroom break, did a Pelican Head update, and I wanted to show you. I mean, this is, you can't really tell from far away, but look at the sheer size of these trees here. And this is just on the side of the road. They call it the Avenue of the Giants for a reason. Sometimes you just drive next to them. It almost feels like several trees, merged or melded into one. It's quite a sight to see, and yeah, the GoPro has this bad habit of running out of battery at the least convenient time possible. But I just wanted to show you once again, as we are here surrounded by giants. It's quite a sight to see. I mean, you have to see it in person. The camera will never do justice to a place like this, so.
As I said, a lot more developed than I was expecting. The visitor center is coming up here on the right, and maybe we can park here. Or maybe there's a better spot. Well, there wasn't a better spot. And they have a campground too. We're going to continue. Many of you recommended we visit Founders Grove, and since that is something we didn't do the last time we were here, we're gonna do it today. Apparently, there is a large vehicle turnaround in half a mile, and that's good. So many rental RVs. Let's find a large enough pullout. And this is not it. This is it.
Well, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that we visited the Redwoods here in 2019. But this is one of the places where we didn't come. I don't know if it was that I didn't know it existed, or we were running out of time. But now here we are, so it is something new for this video. Otherwise, watch my 2019 video as well. We didn't get to see the visitor center this time around, but at least we're gonna see the Founders Grove here, which is something new, something we hadn't seen before. Just for scale. This is me.
This is Founders Tree, 346 feet high and over 12 feet in diameter. It is certainly a giant.
Got this big hollow tree. And just for scale, I'm gonna walk inside the tree. Yeah. Very nice. Hey, let's continue exploring the Founders Grove here. That hollow tree. That's incredible. I always wanted to walk through a tree, and now we've done it. Oh yeah, this is that fallen giant, and you can't even see the top. It's so big.
One final look at Founders Tree. It is certainly impressive.
One last time. Well, that half-mile loop was definitely worth it. I'm glad we did it, and yeah, it's. I can't, you know, I can't help but reiterate that this is one of those places that has to be experienced in person, because yeah, That is the only way to appreciate the sheer size of these trees. All right, let's continue. Minitini is right there. And here we are.
In the shadow of the giants. We're back on the 101. We're crisscrossing the Eel River as we get closer to the coast once again. Many of you recommended we stop by Ferndale. It is supposed to be this picture-perfect Victorian village. There seems to be RV parking, but at this point, we're just gonna drive through really quick. See if it is worth a future visit. Oh yeah, it is totally cute. The town was first established in 1852 and officially incorporated in 1893. The dairy industry generated so much wealth in this area that many of these Victorian structures here are known as butterfat palaces. Let's turn around and do a double take. Oh yeah, we're definitely coming back here one of these days. We're back by the ocean. Coffee break. This could be another potential overnight spot. More research shall go into this. Check it out. Wildlife. We have elk here. Trees of Mystery. That's a pretty fun park. And they have Paul Bunyan. Well, to make a long story short, eventually we made it to our destination, the Lucky 7 Casino, less than 3 miles away from the Oregon border. We are Lucky 7 Casino. We're pretty hungry here, so we're just gonna eat and then go to the sunset. Broccoli soup.
I've been in the mood for a steak, so that's what I got. That's what we got. All right, let's go see the sunset. It's like the ocean is like 2 blocks away. By the way, that steak certainly hit the right spot. This is gonna be a good night. It's nice and cool. Hello there. That's one.
And just like that, we're saying goodbye to California. Tomorrow, the road will take us to Oregon, but that will be another video. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
I'm riding in